Hey, good morning, guys. Just gonna share this out to groups really quick. I'm tired. Good morning, Jamie Taylor. How are you? Good morning. Hey, Lori. Good morning. I'm tired, guys. He chose to stay up a little bit late last night, which is fine. And then he was up early this morning at like 5 in the morning. This is just, I don't know. It's a lot. It's good. I mean, it's been a wonderful visit. It's just, it's hard when you're doing it alone. And it's hard when, I don't know. It's like my intentions for what I wanted this visit to be just, I guess, didn't happen. And I think that I have this sadness around that. That it's sort of, it feels like I worked really hard to try and get this to happen, and then it all blew up. And Paul's okay, so that's good, you know, like, hey Pat, good morning, thank you, good morning, Anjali. It's just, every morning I wake up, I feel defeated. I don't like feeling that way, especially while he's here, because it's not fair to him. He doesn't deserve that. I was trying not to make this happen, to not let him down. It's this funny feeling, like, when I look at him, I feel this sense of, like, guilt. I don't know what it is. I don't want to get into this, we just need to do the reading today. There's something, what I think it is there's something about him that makes me feel like I'm touching base with maybe my own little boy that was inside of me, that I feel like I need to save him, and I don't necessarily know that I can, right? I don't necessarily know that he even needs saving. He lives in Florida in a safe place, in a safe home with people that love him. But there's this part of me that gets really emotionally, like, sensitive around it. And I think it has to do with my past and my childhood. And Um, Trying to hold it together and keep that like upbeat attitude the whole time while he's here to keep him happy, because he really vibrates off of that. Like he really responds to that when you're in a happy sing-song voice. He's happy sing-song with you, right? So trying to hold that up and pretend like, I'm not feeling what I'm feeling is a challenge. Let's just say that. Not that I'm not able to rise to the occasion, but it's like rising to the occasion is a lot. Like right now, he's coloring and he's talking and he repeats over and over again, they're gonna rob that bank, they're gonna rob that bank, oh no, they're gonna rob that bank. And it's just, he says it over and over again. And you can repeat it with him, but then he'll just like sort of laugh and repeat it. He's happy, I can tell he's happy. But I'm just, I go through this gamut of emotions that is just like a lot. And I didn't expect this when I brought him here. I thought that this was going to turn out differently. My intentions were for all of us to get to know him and to have some like connection to him, and I feel like it all got fucked up because my mom and I fought and I said the wrong thing, or I don't even know what happened, to be honest. I don't even know if I should do the reading today. And it doesn't help that it's gray and miserable out and it's cold. Like yesterday, I took him out to go to the store and to go get lunch and stuff, and it was a little outing for us, and I took the dogs with us, and that felt good. But it was just didn't feel like enough. Like I question if I'm enough, and I question if I don't know. I'm sorry to be sharing this with you guys, but I don't have any outlet. Like I don't have any outlet right now. And I wake up and I wake up in it, like I wake up to him needing to use the bathroom at 5 in the morning, and it's a lot. This morning I had him fed and I had the dogs outside. I was out in the front yard with the dogs gathering their poop. And I had stepped outside with them, and I guess he threw up on himself, and I had to clean all that up. And that's fine. I don't mind doing the work. Like, it's not that. It's just, it freaked me out. Like I stepped away for 5 minutes, and he has Barrett's esophagus. It's this issue with his throat. And I've given him a breakfast that I've been feeding him I change his breakfast every few days. I give him oatmeal one day with cranberries and walnuts, and then one day I give him like a half hard-boiled egg and a muffin and some, maybe like a cup of yogurt, the things that I think will be good for him. And I guess he threw up the egg or something, I don't know. The dogs ate it up off the floor. It wasn't even that much to clean up. But it scared the shit out of me this morning. Like, because if I was outside getting the dog poop and he was in here choking. Oh. This was supposed to be like a good holiday visit. And it's like falling apart. And I'm trying to remain strong, and I'm trying to realize that, like, everything happens for a reason, right? So everything is for a reason. And I just keep praying. Like, I keep praying, like, please, God, just show me what I need to do next. Please just show me what I need to do next. I don't think I should do the reading today, guys. I think I'm too emotional, and I don't think that I can do the reading today. I think I need to get my shit together. Like, I need to get a little bit less emotional, because I gotta take care of Paul today, and I gotta gear up to get him home. I'm worried about that. I'm sad about that. All right, let's do the 3 breaths because that's what they're there for. They're to ground us and they're to bring us into our present moment so that we can get out of our worries, so that we can get out of our fear, so that we can get out of our doubt. This is the stuff that I try and teach not only you guys but myself, so I need to put it into practice. So just take a deep breath and just bring your attention back to your body right now in this present moment. Take it from wherever you've left it, wherever your attention is, if it's on fear, if it's on doubt, if it's on last week, if it's on this week, if it's on yesterday, if it's on an argument that you've had, if it's on family members, if it's on worry, bring it back, call it back to you. And when you do that, I like to touch my body to remind myself that I'm right here in this very moment. Taking that first breath in through the nose, deep into the belly, and we're going to hold at the top of the breath. And allow that light to expand from our heart chakra out into our body. Knowing that this light is stronger than any doubt or any fear that we may have, any worry, any anger, and let that light shine. Release that breath, letting go of any fear, any lower vibrations, any doubt, anything that doesn't belong to us, anything that weighs us down or makes us feel heavy, anything that's causing us pain or sadness. Let it go in this moment and be thankful to the body, giving gratitude to the body, giving love to the body, acknowledging it for everything that it does for us. Let's take in that second breath deep into the belly, really sort of like almost demand that breath. We deserve that breath. That is the breath that keeps us alive. This is the life that we've created. This is the life that we deserve. And hold. Emanate that light to the outer edges of your body, to the tips of your toes, to the tips of your fingers, to the top of your head. Even let it go out past the outer edges of your body into your aura. Adjust your chakras. Mellow them out if there's any that are overworking right now. Mine would be my first. Like, tone it down, give it some love, and release that breath. Release it with purpose. Release it with authority. Release it with the fact that you can do this, that you can take your space back. Take in that third breath. Oh, and honor your mind. I forgot to say, be grateful for your mind. Hold that breath and allow that light to emanate out into your aura, to the outer edges of your aura, 360 degrees around you. Know this light is the most powerful source in the universe. It's you, your soul, your spirit. It's stronger than anything that life can throw at you. And just sit in that light and release that breath. Giving thanks to the spirit, seeing it coming into contact with the mind and the body, seeing them come into equality, into balance, into love and harmony with each other, in support of one another. Remember that we are like many facets, right? We are our emotional body, our etheric body, our spiritual body, our physical body. There's many aspects to us that are working all at the same time that can come in together into sort of, I don't know what the word is, companionship with one another and work together as opposed to be pulling you in different directions, which I think is what was going on with me this morning. When you're ready, open your eyes. All right, let's get to this reading. Thank you, Spirit. Message for today, January 3rd, 2020, for all of those that are watching now. Hey, Jen Nichols, thank you. Thank you, Anjali. I try and relax, and when I relax, I get really more, um, sometimes more anxious. It's strange. It's like Jen said yesterday about me being like a new parent. It does feel like that. It's like navigating a whole new person, their needs, their quirks. And the other day, his jaw was clicking, like he was going, and I didn't know what was going on. Like I'd never seen that before. So I took a video of it and sent it to Devin. His he has a caregiver house manager in Florida, and I was like, Devin, he's doing this jaw clicking thing. Is this normal? And Devin laughed. He's like, LOL, he's fine. He's happy. You could see in the video that Paul was happy and fine. But the jaw clicking, I had never seen Paul do it before. I had to spend time with him at Thanksgiving and stuff, so it spooked me. And I had to sign paperwork bringing him to my home, so it's like, he's in my care. It's another human being, serious stuff. And let me tell you, I don't necessarily always know how to care for myself all that perfectly, so how the hell am I supposed to do it for somebody that really, needs it? Okay, here we go. The Five of Swords. Wow, our brain's competing a little bit. All right, I'm gonna flip to this camera. So when I look at this, I think of yesterday's Eight of Pentacles, and you know how we had that ribbon that was growing up, that ribbon that was sort of running through the middle? What I'm seeing here is like it looks like these swords maybe have cut away that ribbon. And I don't mean that in a bad, sort of depressive kind of way, but I'm not so sure that maybe our own thoughts or our own thinking might be getting in the way of our own sort of ability to grow ourselves. Oh my god, everybody's commenting right now. I can't get to the chat box. Okay. It feels like this yellow here is sort of the cutting away of that ribbon. To me, it makes me feel a little bit funny. Like I don't feel like this is a very positive card. I feel like some of us, this might be just for me, I don't know. I try and take myself out of these readings, but the way that I'm looking at this card is it looks like there might be a mental struggle that's going on right now. There is this one sword that is trying to be sort of direct and clear and know what it knows, and it feels as if it's protecting that ribbon that was growing up. But to me, there's also these four other swords, or these four other ideas, these four other maybe subconscious belief sets, things we've been taught, things we've learned from other places, things that maybe don't serve us, that are trying to come in and cut that away, that are trying to cut in and undermine our sense of self, that are in competition in a way for what we sort of know is true. And so some of us might find ourselves at odds today, thinking about, how we want something to be or how we need something to be, and then being told or hearing, not necessarily voices, but hearing thoughts like maybe the voice of our parents or something saying, oh, you can't do that way, or this can't be right, blah, blah, blah. And it's cutting away that ribbon that we saw yesterday. Hold on 1 second. I just heard it. Hold on. What's going on, bud? What happened? It's not over. What fell over? What did somebody walk over? Was the cat knocking something over? Okay. But you're okay? Okay. I just want to make sure. Ooh. I think my cat's just knocked something over. Sorry, guys. So what I was saying is this feels like, to me, in my personal opinion, this feels like maybe sort of the thought or the creative idea that we have in mind, and we might be at odds with some thoughts that I kind of get the distinct feeling that these sort of four swords here may not even be our own. They might be things that we were taught. They might be things that we were that we've learned through life, through societal, through things we've seen in society or whatever, that are at odds today, that are trying to maybe like get in the way of whatever it was that we were building with that beautiful golden ribbon that we saw yesterday. in the Eight of Pentacles. Now, what I do want to say with this is the ribbon is cut here, but it's not gone completely. So to me, it feels as though it can be rebuilt, but we might have to do a little bit of mental handiwork today, or a little bit of, we might find ourselves with a little bit of a mental struggle today, or a little bit of the mental competition going on for which thought do we give our attention to, which thought do we sort of, feed or harbor. We want to do the one that's for our highest good. We want to sort of stick with that thought and use that thought to maybe even defend ourselves a little bit from some of the other things that want to creep in. So just keep that in mind today. The ribbon is not lost that we saw in the Eight of Pentacles. It just feels like it's sort of maybe, we're not feeling like we're in contact with it right now. It's maybe broken apart a little bit so that we can get in there and fight away any doubt or any sort of fear or limiting beliefs that might be in our way of us creating what we saw in yesterday's Eight of Pentacles, which was that grounded, beautiful golden light sort of reaching up to the cosmos and kind of building bigger and bigger, right? And in an effort to build that bigger and bigger, we might need to clear away some of the limiting beliefs that we've maybe either created ourselves or inherited through, experiences that no longer exist. They're experiences of the past, so don't allow those things of the past to dictate your now, okay? It could be cutting cords too, Carl, very clear. It could be cutting cords, exactly. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, Kat. I am hanging in there, dear. So this is, I am receptive. I am receptive. I am open to new ideas. I am willing to try different methods, and I consider alternate viewpoints. I welcome intellectual stimulation. I am receptive. So again, with this being a swords card and it being the element of air, which is all the mental realm and all of these different ideas that are coming at us that maybe we're not necessarily sure which one to listen to, or if we need to listen to any of them at all, we might need to hold strong to our idea here. Do be receptive to different ideas of ways of getting our what we want accomplished today. It could be very much, I like that idea of cutting cords, Carla. Like, I think that's beautiful. That Eight of Pentacles, though, yesterday, which was that golden cord, made me feel like it was something that was really beautiful building. So today when I see this cut cord here, I feel, I don't know, like I don't necessarily want that cord cut. Not the cord that I saw yesterday in the cards. The way that cord made me feel, it felt like something really beautiful was building for all of us. To me, this feels like we maybe are redefining that cord, or for you it may be cutting cords. Maybe there are cords that need to be cut for certain viewers, or myself included. But I think this is about holding strong to some of the outside influences that might be coming in or trying to affect us or undermine us. Do stay receptive to sort of the help from outside of us, in the sense that, like, the universe, our higher power, our higher selves, our spirit guides will sort of give us those answers. Our intuition, we have what is the moon here, and then we have the sun here, right? But it's sort of clouded. To me, it's like intuitively being receptive and allowing the clouds to part, to have the energy of that sun sort of shine through and give us that answer. But we need to be receptive to it. The stone, the grounding stone for today, is courage. So I ask you all to walk in courage today, no matter what you're dealing with. Be courageous in your thoughts, in your receptivity. Don't be afraid of being open to new ways of doing things. Don't be afraid of maybe saying no if you need to say no to certain things, like I see here. Don't be afraid to sort of defend yourself if you need to feel as though you need to defend yourself mentally. This to me feels not necessarily like, how do I want to say this? This feels more annoying than anything to me. It feels more like limiting self-beliefs that maybe don't belong to us, but we think they're a part of us because we've grown up with them for so long, right? And it's like we have to sift through them and figure out which ones are in our way and which ones are cutting the cords versus helping the cord grow. And when I say cords, like certainly cut the cords from whoever you need to cut your cords from, but I felt like the Eight of Pentacles, that beautiful golden light, that spiraling ribbon, felt like something that we were building that was beautiful. So that doesn't necessarily mean that's a cord towards somebody else. This might be us needing to cut away other cords that don't allow us to build on the Eight of Pentacles golden light that we saw, okay? So be receptive to those ideas today. Be receptive to the ideas of what is serving you. Like, check in with your intuition. Allow the clouds to clear. Allow the sun to shine a light on the situation as it is and to sort of see it as it is. And also having the courage to see it as it is. You know, that's a big one too for us, for myself included right now, is, you know, looking at things as they are and really sort of assessing whether or not, you know, I'm capable of doing this. I'm capable of taking on everything that I chose to take on in trying to do this for the holidays. You know, looking at it for being courageous and still moving forward, right? Still being receptive to new ideas and ways of doing it, but also being courageous in looking at it for the reality of that this is hard work. This is not something I can do full time. This is not something that I have to admit that I'm not, um, I am not like able to, I think I have to say this, and this is just more personal for me, but I'm just sharing this here because like this is one of my few outlets. And I appreciate a lot of you have messaged me personally and I've said thank you, and you've offered to be a lend an ear, and I really appreciate that because it makes me feel less alone. But I don't necessarily know if it's good for me to sort of dwell in my fears and talk about it too much, so I sort of let it loose here in the morning. Um, but I have to look at this situation for sort of what it is and acknowledge that I'm only one person and that I can't, as much as I maybe care about Paul, I can't necessarily, you know, I had ideas or thoughts of like, oh, maybe if it works out and he comes here and he gets along with the dogs and the cats, and speaking of cats, if he gets along with the dogs and the cats, maybe he could come and live here with us and all of that. And I don't think that that's possible. And that's something that I have to be courageous and receptive to the idea of. You know, that's something that maybe that's a ribbon that maybe or a cord or an idea that I need to cut away and be realistic about. That I don't necessarily have the strength, right, or the ability to do that full time. It's certainly not on my own, and so um, it's a, you know, that's how I would look at this today in my situation, right? That's my applying to my situation. How you guys apply this to your situation, feel free to do so. I'm not in your guys' life. I only use this as an example, and I will tune in again tomorrow with you guys, and I will see you tomorrow for the forecast. Okay. Thank you for tuning in. And Kelly Kim says, not a single person can be everywhere at the same time. I know. But I'm the type of person that I want to try, you know? Like, I had my gallbladder out, and then, like, 3 days later, I was on a plane to go and get him because I didn't want to let him down. And I think that had something more to do with me being let down as a kid. And so I didn't want to do that to him. And I think I didn't think it through. And I was just in such a big hurry to try and make right for something that I don't even know that I can make right, and then I made it worse. Or at least I feel like I made it worse, because that's what I'm being told. So I'm confused. I'm gonna go, you guys. I need to stop crying before I go back out there. I will talk to you guys tomorrow in the morning. There will not be a charming tonight, I don't think. It is Friday night, but I don't think I'm going to do a charming because Paul is here and it's just, I think it might get too confusing, me running back and forth. But I will see you guys in the morning tomorrow, and then on the 6th when I take Paul back, I don't know if there's going to be a video for the 6th because I have to get him up early get him ready, get, the dogs ready, and get them to the kennel, and get us to the airport, and then I have to fly to Florida and back all in one day. So, and then I have to come back to an empty house with no dogs, which is I'm bummed about. I'm like freaked out about that because I'm gonna be sad that Paul's gone, but the dogs are gonna have to stay overnight at the kennel because I won't get home too late. All right, I love you guys. I will talk to you all later, and have a good day. Be receptive. Be courageous. I'm gonna do the same today. And keep your mind and thoughts clear, no matter how they might be conflicting or how they might be at odds. All right? I love you guys. Have a good day. Don't scratch up the chair, please.